guys. Here in the studio today we have the new BFGoodrich HD Terrain TAKT. It's a bit of a mouthful, but that means it's basically the bigger / smaller brother of the BFG KO2 that we all know and love. Now this is an interesting tyre. It's actually made with a fairly specific purpose in mind. It's meant for your bigger, like your heavy duty trucks, like what they have in the States and what we're starting to get here in Australia. So they say that these tyres have bigger blocks, bigger tread blocks, which means they're not going to squirm as much under load, particularly on those heavy vehicles. They're meant for those high torque applications. So think about the big trucks, big motors. High torque means that you're going to get chipping with tyres, and theoretically these tyres with the larger tread blocks and less siping, as I'll show you later on as well, mean that you're actually going to get less chipping, which means they should last you longer. This is a brand new tyre off the blocks. It was released in August 2023, if you're watching this later on. And here in Australia, we've got 21 sizes. And they range in between 235, 85, R16, so it's a really deep profile 16-inch tyre, and a 35 by 12.5 R20 for those who are running the big rims. Interestingly, the weight is actually slightly lower in the LT 265 7017 tyre. And that's because the actual casing of this is a lighter duty casing than what you get on the KO2. So we talk about 3 ply and 10 ply and that sort of thing these days, but that's actually more of an industry term, and these days tyres have all sorts of different plies and different thicknesses and that sort of thing going on. But this thing has a lighter duty casing. It's still a 10 ply on the Treadface and 3 ply on the sidewall, but it's a lighter 10 ply, 3 ply. So, and you know, for those playing along in the States, it's an E rating as well, so 10 ply E rating. They're not 3 peak mountain snowflake rated either. You have to go to the KO2 for that one. So let's take a look at the Treadface to start off with. And first thing you'll notice is the big tread blocks. They're not calling it an RT or an aggressive all-terrain or anything like that, but you could probably call this an aggressive all-terrain RT type tyre with these big shoulder block gaps. And that actually carries through the middle here as well. So you're looking at massive voids, massive grooves all the way through here. You're also seeing not a huge amount of siping in these tyres. And again, that's because they're for high power, high torque applications. And interestingly, the sipes themselves, you see they're relatively simple. They don't go all the way through the block as well, which means that they're not gonna, again, squirrel around as much under load when towing, that sort of thing. So keeping in mind, this is for your bigger vehicles. Hey, let's say you're doing a lap around Australia and you've got a loaded up patrol, or you're towing a big caravan, that sort of thing. This is probably where these tyres will suit. The lack of siping or reduced amount of siping is going to be interesting in terms of wet weather traction. So I'll be really keen to hear your reviews or see your reviews on that. So make sure you leave a comment down below, but also leave a review on tyrereview.com.au once you've used these for a couple of months, because I read most of the reviews and I'm actually really keen to see what you guys think of these on the actual roads, on Australian roads, hey, even on US roads, let me know. There is some little bars in here that will help get rid of the mud out of the tread pattern. Let's go around to the side. And you can see here on the upper shoulders, we've got more of what we're seeing these days with the newer tyres. You're seeing alternating between flat blocks and scallop blocks. And then you've got some upper sidewall protection here too. It's not overly aggressive, and it's the same on both sides, so you don't have a different side to choose. And interestingly, there's no choice for white sidewall writing on these tyres as well, which we'll see with others. They do actually have a Baja Champion logo in here because they won a race in the States and they're pretty stoked with that. But overall, you'll find that these tyres are a relatively simple tyre. Again, they're meant for that niche, seeing more of those 2500s, 3500s, F350s type trucks here in Australia. And you'll start to see probably these will be the right tyres to choose for those rigs if you've got a wider choice, because they're probably going to last you longer on that type of rig. So that's the BFG HD Terrain TAKT. Again, let me know your feedback. Always keen to see what experiences you have with these tyres, and thanks for tuning in.